Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Macrocast, your source for news and entertainment with the minds behind Macro Records. We're your hosts. I'm Manson.
I'm Downlow'd. Welcome back to another fantastic week.
We've got some good stuff for you this week. We went to the movies. I saw a couple movies.
I saw a movie with you. We watched a movie.
We're going to talk about the season premiere of Walking Dead and some other stuff.
Walking Dad.
Real quick,
Dad.
if you enjoy the show, please don't forget to go on iTunes and leave us a review. It'll be most appreciated. Also, you can watch us on YouTube as well. Go to youtube.com/MacroRecordsTV and go to our Facebook page, facebook.com/TheMacrocast.
Feel free to drop comments on either of those. If you're watching on YouTube, drop a like, subscribe to us if you can.
And any comments you leave on our social media or anything like that, or
if you tweet us.
If you tweet us at Macro Records, use the hashtag #TheMacrocast so we know you're talking about the show. Anything you send us, we'll read out on the show. Reviews as well. If you leave us a review, we'll read it out on the show.
For sure. So something happened to me recently.
Real quick,
what are
macro news.
Yeah, sure.
The track you're listening to this week is Boratem by Danny Lacrosse. It's out now, available exclusively on Beatport, so go pick that up. What? I don't know. You probably have.
Cool, yeah. So something happened to me. Like, I was at... I'm starting a residency here, and I went to a bar across the street from the bar that I'm starting a residency at, and everyone was coughing. Like, it was really gross, and I was like, what the fuck, man? Is, like, everyone sick? Why is everyone out? And I went to the back bar to talk to this bartender that I know or whatever, and he was there, like, coughing, and I was like, dude, do you have allergies? Or he was like, no, man, I'm really sick. I was like, why are you at work? Like, are you taking medicine? He was like, I don't believe in taking medicine. And I was, is that absurd? He was like, dude, listen, man. He was like, I don't take medicine because I believe that it weakens our bodies, and one day if I really need medicine in like a life-threatening situation, it'll actually help me. But for people that take medicine all the time, it won't help them. I think that's bullshit.
Well, I mean, that's not complete bullshit, but at the same time, it's like...
It's kind of fucked up to go to work and get, like, you're a bartender and you're making drinks for people. You're going to get, like, 100 people sick.
I know, man. I don't like getting sick either, so I'm like, I've been a germaphobe lately because I have seen a lot of sick people as well.
And people are like, well, it's just that time of the year. It's
that's
not an excuse,
I was
man.
sick a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, that's fine, you know, but at the same time, you were pretty courteous about it. Like, this guy is making drinks for people, and I was like, why did you even come to work, man? Like, he was really sick. He was like, his face was flush, like, he didn't look good. And he was like, I can't afford to not come to work. It's like, dude, you can take a day off. I mean, like, all these people might not be, you know, they might get sick, and then they have shit to do too, you know? Yeah. Like, you got to be considerate. So, guys, I just wanted to say...
I mean, it's very, like, anti-vaxxers, you know?
It's the same fucking thing, kind of. That's what I was thinking. I was kind of, like... aghast, like, when he said that. I was like, whoa, dude. Like,
but taking medicine, like, when you're sick, and taking a vaccine to prevent yourself from giving and spreading a disease are two very different things. I acknowledge that. I mean, if someone says they don't take medicine because they don't, like, I can understand if someone's like, you know, I don't feel like I need to be putting all these chemicals in my body to make myself feel better. I mean, I can sort of understand where someone's coming from.
That's totally fine. But if you're super sick, then don't fucking go to work.
No, yeah, he should definitely have been in bed, drinking lots of fluids, like, trying to get better.
You know, and it's like
not at work spreading the contagion.
It's even worse if you work in, like, food service or you're a bartender.
Yeah,
because you're directly in contact with people's, like, with their mouths, basically, you know. If you're okay, I understand if you're a telemarketer and you're like, you know, I got to go to work or whatever, and you're not really in close proximity to other people, or you're in, like, your booth. You have an office job where you're not really, you know. But come on, guys, if you're a bartender, if you're in food service, then it's my personal conviction that you should not be going to work and getting other people sick. I mean, other people probably did get sick. Let's be honest. And this guy was standing next to me, and he was, like, not worried about it at all. He was like, you know what, man? I'm a chemist.
Okay, dude.
Yeah, I was like, okay. So he was like, let me tell you, man, there's a lot of different factors that go into getting sick. And I was like, okay, I acknowledge that. That's true. I mean,
wait, so his credentials was that he's a chemist. He's not a medical doctor.
No. He said that he's studying chemistry, and I was like, great. But that is true. There's a lot of different factors that go into getting sick.
Totally.
Like, because you're next to a sick person doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to get sick, but at the same time, that doesn't justify you being sick and coming to work and making drinks for people. You know? And especially when you're coughing into your hand and you're like, you're fucking fist bumping people.
Anyone who coughs into their hand is automatically a contagion spreader. You should cough into the crease of your elbow.
He was coughing into his shirt too.
Yeah, that's gross.
And you think coughing into your shirt is going to stop it? Like it's going to come out through your shirt too.
Yeah.
You're spreading sickness and come on.
Well, okay, so since we've talked
Holy shit.
Human viruses, let's talk about a computer virus. Well, it's not really a virus. It's more of a vulnerability.
It's a virus.
But Adobe recently released their monthly security patch for Adobe Flash.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you heard about this, but there's a major security flaw in the newest version of Adobe Flash. And I think it retroactively affects all older versions of Flash as well. They're advising anyone who uses it to uninstall it, which, okay, Flash in the first place, it's like this dying horse that we keep, like, forcing to be alive, like, it's such an...
That's such a strange...
Well, okay.
It's a dying horse that we keep forcing to be alive. Like, we've got it on life support.
Well, okay, so when horses get, like, old and sick, they put them out of their misery, right? Like...
No.
Horses don't usually die of old age. They
don't get... Okay, wait.
They're euthanized.
Yeah. I mean, well, if they get hurt, too. Like, if a horse gets hurt... Even if it's like a thoroughbred that you run or whatever, and they're like, well, it broke its leg. I've seen Seabiscuit. I know how it works.
Well, those are racing horses.
Wasn't a big plot point in Seabiscuit where he broke his leg?
Either way, my point is something that's being kept alive.
Have you seen Seabiscuit?
With
Tobey Maguire.
Yes.
And Jeff Bridges, I think, isn't it?
It's been a while.
Yeah, but he breaks his leg, right?
Yeah.
And then he has to, like, nurse him back to health, and then he wins again, and they're like, Seabiscuit, you did it! That was a good movie. When I watched it, I was like...
It's a pretty good movie, yeah.
Dude, it pulled my heartstrings. Okay, so back to the computer virus.
But either way, Flash is outdated.
Is it a virus?
No, it's not a virus. I was just making a terrible segue. It's a vulnerability in the security of it. So it can allow someone to remote access your system, possibly.
Oh shit!
Like in the most serious of cases, it could be pretty bad. So they're advising people to uninstall it until they have a fix for it, and they don't even have an estimated time on a fix.
What the fuck is with these companies and just being like, yeah, well, you know what, man, we'll just do it when we can.
Well,
it's important.
You got to understand it's software development too, which is like one of the most unsure things people do. Like that you put in a piece of code or you make a change to one line of code, and it's like your project could be completely screwed. And then you're going to need a lot of manpower to like figure out what's wrong, fix it, and then test it again.
Really, the biggest issue when it comes down to that is just debugging the code. Like, you have to find the actual line of code. It depends on how organized you are and what language you're coding in, too. Like, I code in C++.
And you also got to understand how many lines of possible code there are in Adobe Flash. Like, it's not some simple program with, like, a user interface and a yes/no option. It runs videos.
But I mean, there are people that are really, really fucking good at this, too. Well, and, that's what they do.
Just to, like, put it in perspective, look at it like an online video game. Like, okay, Star Wars The Old Republic, right? They have a patch coming up on Tuesday, which is an expansion, right? So before you implement a whole fucking 4 gigs of a patch to a software, you got to test it, right? You test it, make sure everything works, and then you go live with it. And even when you go live, something that you didn't find in testing might come up in live, and it's like that shit takes time to fix because
then you're doing damage control.
Yeah. But like you said, you got to go back
unexpected.
And you got to debug, you got to find the problem, and then you got to rewrite the code to work. You got to figure out, well, how can we make it work?
Well, I think that that's probably like not as much of an issue as finding the actual problem within the code.
Yeah.
Like, you have to look through all the code and read through it.
With complex systems, man, there's so many different variables and things interacting. Like, you never know what could go wrong. It's like a house of cards, man.
No, but like, when you're coding, that's why people leave notes. Like, specifically, they say when you, and this is like kind of an arbitrary conversation, but like specifically when you're coding, they say that the best code is written with notes that tells you why something is done.
Well, but that's also when you're one person coding something by yourself. When you have a team of like 150 different coders working on something, it's like
you're supposed to do that so other people can read the code.
Yeah.
Like that's you specifically do that for other people to look at the code and do that. That's the reason. But anyway, it's a pain in the ass nonetheless. I mean, I think that we should get Bill Gates on it. I think that we should get Mark Zuckerberg.
They don't own Adobe.
Let's bring the brain trust together. Let's get Elon Musk.
Yeah.
He's like not even a coder. Does he code?
I'm sure he probably does.
Have you checked out the new Tesla?
Yeah, the one that came out like this week.
The one that like self-fucking drives.
Yeah.
Holy shit, it looks awesome.
Yeah.
And the interior looks amazing too. It has that gigantic screen. It's like a 20-inch screen. Holy shit, man. I saw a video of a guy like he was like the car was driving like through Washington D.C. or something, and he was freaked out. He was like, oh, and he like pressed on the brake, and the car started freaking out, and he was like, oh, I shouldn't have done that. Shouldn't have pressed on the brake. Just let the car do its own thing, because the car knew when to brake.
Yeah.
He was just like, it wasn't braking fast enough, but the car knows when to do everything. It's fucking crazy. That car has like sensors all over the place.
Yeah. My only concern is that it's at such an early stage that with something like that, there's bound to be issues that crop up eventually. You know, what about when billions of people have self-driving cars? Like,
I think that then won't it be kind of like easier because everything will run in like.
But if you have one problem with one, it's like dominoes, you know, like it could fuck up everyone else. I'm personally looking forward to the point where it's like Minority Report and the self-driving shit is like on point. Like all the technology in that movie, they probably never have bugs with their tech.
It probably happens. The cars in Minority Report, I will say, are sick as shit. Like those are all they were all made like by Lexus. There were prototypes that were made by Lexus, and Lexus was saying we're going to actually come out with something like this. This was when Minority Report was released in like 2001 or something.
14 years ago.
Yeah, a long fucking time ago. And Lexus, lo and behold, has still not released anything on par with that.
Yeah.
This was when Tesla wasn't even like a fart in Elon Musk's brain. You know, what are you looking for?
Nothing. Continue.
Your phone.
Continue. Why would you bring it up? Just continue.
He loses his phone in the couch. I wanted
to see what
when Minority Report was released.
Yeah,
I believe it was like 2001. Cool. But Tesla is like the closest that we've gotten to that so far. I'm excited to see these other companies can't be that far away from stepping up to the plate.
And making self-driving cars?
Yeah.
Maybe.
I love that you got upset right now because he dropped his phone in the crevice of this couch.
No, I don't think it's there.
You maybe didn't bring it inside. Oh, it was literally under his leg. Oh, that's amazing. This is the magic that happens at the Macrocast, guys.
So let's see.
Minority Report
2002.
2000. Yeah, very close.
Years ago.
Tom Cruise has been around for a while, guys. Tell you that much.
Dude, I mean, he's 53 years old.
Holy shit.
He looks like he's like 45.
No, he looks like he's like 23.
Oh, come on.
Like I am now older than Tom Cruise, even though he was around forever.
Let's hop off Tom Cruise's dick.
Dude, we were never on it, I don't think. You know,
I mean, you were close.
Did you? No, I was, dude, what the fuck? That is uncalled for. Did you ever watch that movie, fucking Top Gun?
Of course.
You know, that was directed by Ridley Scott's brother.
Oh, really?
Yeah. That Tony Scott, I think, was his name. But he also directed Man on Fire and a bunch of crazy movies.
I saw a Ridley Scott movie. I'm gonna be talking about it.
Oh, that, you know what? I actually looked that up. That's why. And I can't, but his brother, Tony Scott, committed suicide.
Oh, really?
Yeah, which is real. I didn't know about that. I had no idea that Ridley Scott's brother directed all of these fucking awesome movies. But look him up. Some really cool stuff, man.
Cool. Let's hop into TV. Let's talk about. We're going to talk about the season premiere of The Walking Dead. We're not going to spoil anything, okay? I'm asking you.
I don't know.
I mean,
I kind of want to talk about it, but okay.
Well, I mean, let's talk about what we thought about it. Thoughts on it?
It was cool.
Yeah, it was a good episode.
Let's keep it as ambiguous as possible. Yeah, it was cool. I like it. It was Walking Dead. I mean, it was a really strong return.
Yeah.
It was kind of like what I had. It's exactly what I needed especially after watching Fear the Walking Dead. It made like someone else said this, but it made me realize in watching Fear the Walking Dead that I just wanted to watch Walking Dead.
Yeah.
But I think the next season of Fear the Walking Dead is going to be awesome.
So what do you think? Let's talk about the flashbacks, because that's not really a spoiler, but the episode has lots of flashbacks.
I think that it's really funny that last week you had been bitching about all of these shows doing flashbacks, and you were like, dude, what the fuck?
No, I was bitching about shows fast forwarding.
Okay, well,
like
this is the
2
total.
years.
Okay, it's the opposite then.
Well, they did kind of skip a portion of, like, when the episode first starts, you're like, well, what the fuck happened? We don't know what happened. And then we get to see it play out.
Well, then you
flashbacks.
realize it literally was only a few days.
Yeah.
Or a week at most.
It wasn't like Homeland where it's 33 months difference between the last season and the next. It's like, whoa.
Let me just say, so I watched Homeland and I could not keep up with it.
Why?
Like the last episode of Homeland.
Good.
It
was better than the premiere.
It was good, but it took me 2 days to watch that episode. Yeah, I went through it and I was like, oh, I had to come back to it. What was even worse was Limitless. I could not keep up with Limitless at all this week.
Okay, I watched it. It was fine.
I don't know. For some reason, I was bored the whole time. But
The
Walking Dead, I didn't have that problem. That kept me invested the entire time.
Yeah, really. There were a couple
really
things.
Good stuff.
What's her name? Deanna is all just hardcore now. Like,
well, she's like broken.
Yeah.
And so now she's down with like Carol's all excited. She's like, Rick, it's yours now.
Dude, Carol, man. When they're having the meeting and she's like, oh, I can only think of one word for this. Terrifying. It's like, okay.
I actually had no problems with the episode at all, though. There was nothing
neither.
cringeworthy. The acting was really good.
Of course.
Everything was really well put together. And there were those press shots for The Walking Dead that were like abysmal.
What do you mean?
For the new season.
I saw that.
They were like, all the lighting was just wrong. It just looked really bad, and they were like, I think they hired some new photographer to do these press shots because they looked like really bad.
Okay.
But the new season, this was just fucking kicking my balls.
Very strong start.
It was good.
Yeah.
The Ricktator.
The Ricktatorship.
The Ricktator and the Rollin' Ricks. Dude, I love Rick. Yeah. I'm so stoked about Rick.
He's
man.
the best character, man.
We
didn't
just
see
love
Carl
Rick.
at all.
Oh, dude, because Carl's boning. Carl, dude, for real. Who's that girl? Edith or Edie or whatever?
I think her name is Edith. Yeah.
Okay, so they showed like a clip of them sitting up there or whatever, and people are like, they're gonna fuck in a car.
No.
People are saying, and Rick's gonna be like, hey, Carl, get out of here. Dad, give me 5 more minutes.
I think Chandler Riggs is still kind of young to do a sex scene.
No, they're not gonna do, dude, that, not like legitimately.
Well, I don't know, man. I guess the chick who played, those are Showtime shows too. Like
what?
The young kids, like Dana.
And Ray Donovan?
Didn't Dana have a sex scene, kind of?
Who's Dana?
From Homeland.
Don't remember her.
Brody's daughter? The one who ended up working as a maid?
Come on, yeah. Oh, dude, she was whack. No, I don't think she had a sex scene.
But what's her name in Ray Donovan did? Bridget.
She didn't have it was kind of a sex scene.
Yeah, I don't know.
She took her top off.
Yeah.
But it wasn't like full on nudity.
No. It wasn't like...
They were pushing the boundaries.
It wasn't like the Lady Gaga scenes in American Horror Story.
That show is... I
haven't watched the second episode yet.
Fuck, it's really good, man. That show is really promising, and I thought that it was going to...
Did you watch Doctor Who last night with Maisie Williams?
No, I didn't watch it, but I was going to watch it before you got here, and I just didn't do it. The Girl Who Died is what. All I'm going
to say, it's not really a spoiler. It's a good episode, a really good episode. It was written by Jamie Mathieson. It's his first episode of the season.
Matheson?
With someone else. I don't recall his name. I feel like a dick, but yeah, it was co-written by
Jerry
someone
Bruckheimer.
Else. But yeah, I hope Maisie. God, I kind of wish
she would become a companion.
Yeah,
that's not going to happen.
I know, because she's got Game of Thrones. But if she became the next companion for the Doctor, it would be amazing.
But honestly, that's kind of like beneath her too. Like Doctor Who is a huge show, but it's not like Game of Thrones.
No,
huge.
No, totally not.
Like as far as it's still BBC, and their production value is rather low.
You know, they spend more money on a season of Doctor Who than they do on Game of Thrones. Right?
Really?
Well, okay, so
their production value is kind of low for Doctor Who.
it's $8 million an episode, man. That's only $2 million less than Game of Thrones.
I don't know, man, but the like, I feel like sometimes the special effects on Doctor Who, I'm like,
yeah, sometimes, but I don't think it's because they're bad.
It's still good.
It's not because they're bad. I think it's because they're meant to have that certain feel, you know?
It's for kids, I guess. It's not supposed to be, like, super scary.
Well, and it's the Doctor, man. Like, if you go watch old Doctor Who, even, like, the beginning of New Who with Christopher Eccleston, like, some of those effects are really cringeworthy.
Dude, wait. That whole first season with Christopher Eccleston, they were still getting their bearings, I think. They were like, well, you know, I don't...
but then
we shouldn't spend very much money on this.
But
we don't
it
know if
had
it's
its
gonna work.
highs and lows, too. Like, when Rose looks into the time vortex or whatever, like those were pretty good special effects.
Was that when she became Bad Wolf?
Yeah, for the very first time.
Right on.
Yeah,
I miss Rose.
Yeah,
everyone misses Rose.
God, man, Rose, and I miss Amy and Rory. So
I do
much,
too.
Man. I miss the 11th Doctor.
They're all like Amy's. Like, okay, so what's her name again? Oh my God,
Karen Gillan?
Karen Gillan is like way too famous to be in Doctor Who anymore.
I don't think that's true, man.
She's in Marvel Cinematic
She's
Universe.
in Guardians of the Galaxy, which is like the lowest grossing Marvel movie of the MCU.
Guardians of the Gal? No, that made a lot of money.
It made
dude.
like
it made a lot of money.
It did make a lot of money, but compared to like Avengers and Iron Man and Captain America, I don't think it's.
I thought it made more than Captain America.
Than Winter Soldier?
Yeah,
I doubt it, man.
I'm gonna look it up.
Okay,
Guardians of the Gal. Guardians of the Gal.
So real quick, while you're looking that up, they were playing trailers for this new AMC show during Walking Dead, and it's called Into the Badlands. It looks pretty cool. It's like a cross between a Western and like Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, and like Hunger Games dystopian future. I don't know. It's got a lot going on.
I compared it to like Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, and Cloud Atlas. It's kind of got like a Wachowski brothers feeling.
Yeah,
Wachowski Starship.
I mean, I thought it looked pretty cool. I'm down to check it out. It starts in November.
It looks interesting.
Yeah,
I'll give it that.
I wonder what the premiere date
You know
is.
what, man? Guardians of the Galaxy did make more than Winter Soldier.
Really?
Like $30 million more.
Wow. So how much did it make in total?
I think it was $740 million. I'm just rounding up. And box office for Captain America was $715 million.
Oh, wow.
So, I don't know about total. I think that Guardians of the Galaxy has made over $1 billion total, though.
Guardians cost less to make, though, didn't it?
Oh, God.
It cost $90 million. You don't have to look it up.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
The budget for Captain America was $170 million.
Yeah, so they spent a lot more on Captain America.
No, the budget for Guardians of the Galaxy was $195.9 million.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so and the box office was $774 million.
Okay.
So it made a good $60 million more.
Okay.
But that's, go figure. It is what it is. I guess they kind of evened out.
Well, our whole point on this was that Karen Gillan's some sort of superstar now. I mean, yeah,
she is.
She's a star. I'm not trying to say she's not a star.
How bright is her star? Like, how bright does her star shine?
Her character was awesome, but it's
Nebula?
not. She wasn't a main character.
She's gonna come back though.
Oh yeah, she'll be in the next one, and she'll probably be in Infinity War too, man.
Probably.
She's Thanos' daughter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanos, whatever. Josh Brolin, you love it. You're like all
yes, dude.
His head looks all weird.
No, it looks like Thanos, man. It looks perfect. That's what Marvel, dude. Everything they do looks perfect.
It looks. Wait. So I saw the preview for what's the character's name? Claw.
Ulysses Claw?
No.
Andy Serkis's
character? No. I'm sorry. I totally fucked this up, and I'm making you think of something else. No, the character that was in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Lash.
Lash, yeah.
Okay.
They did I saw the preview for the nethe episode, and it looked kind of shitty.
Yeah.
Like he looks kind of like a Doctor Who, like a
Zygon, maybe.
I don't know. You remember that Doctor Who character that was like a starfish?
Dude, the Zygons. That's what I'm talking about.
It didn't look very good.
Okay.
You thought it looked good?
No, I haven't seen it. I don't know what you're talking about.
No, it was from last season.
In Doctor Who. That's not from last season. That's from 2 seasons ago.
Oh, okay. He looked like a starfish.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you think that looked really good?
The Zygons with the suckers? The
yeah. I thought it looked funny.
I mean...
It looked kind of silly. It looked good, but it looked silly.
It looked like a Doctor Who villain.
It was like cheap practical effects. That's what I'm saying.
I mean, the Zygons aren't really meant to be scary, though. They're just like...
Well, isn't Lash supposed to look really menacing, though?
Kind of.
I don't know.
I haven't seen what you're talking about, though,
okay.
So I have no frame of reference.
But then, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. has been surpassing my expectations this entire season, so...
The first 3 episodes, man, have
been
really
still,
good.
Coulson can't get her name right. He's like, Sky. She's like, Daisy, dude. Call me Daisy.
And then she tells Simmons, like, you can call me whatever you want.
Yeah, what the fuck, dude? You're just giving her the benefit of the doubt because now
she lived on an alien planet for 6 months. Everyone laid down the red carpet. Like,
spoiler alert, she says, we have to go back.
Oh, no. Why would you spoil that?
What?
What?
Are you ready for that?
No.
Are you ready for the return?
What?
I don't think... Do you even think that's going to happen?
Yeah, probably.
Well... What the fuck is the point?
They've said it. Now it must be done.
what if they're just like, they never follow through with that?
Like, the next episode is something complete... Like, they all forgot about it.
You know what? I do think the next episode has nothing to do with that, though. Because I saw the preview and it was like, they have like the guy that does all of the movies. They're like, in a world with mutants.
Well, I mean, with any show that's 24 episodes, sometimes they can get kind of procedural, Like... They'll throw in an episode of just, like, some shit happening just to, like... And then at the end of that episode, they'll be like, oh, and this thing we forgot about. Supernatural does that a lot.
The Blacklist this season is extremely procedural, and there was like so many parts where it was like, dude, I know this, I work here. Yeah. Like there was one part where Red, like the main character, who played the guy who played James Spader, and he's like, I'm doing this so I can figure out how to get through to the thing and like contact the ATM people. And I was like, dude, why are you telling us this? Like, just fucking do it. He's like, in a real life situation, he was like hacking into something. It's like you would be wasting so much time just talking about it.
Or just say what your end goal is. Like, you don't need to walk me through it.
Well, why does he... Like, I don't even really need to know what your end goal is. Like, I just want you to fucking do it, and then we'll figure it out.
Yeah.
They dumb a lot of these shows down so much that general audiences...
It's on NBC, man. Like, what can you expect?
Yeah, I suppose so. I don't know. Arrow
is the worst network.
Well, that's it. Arrow is really procedural right now, too.
The last episode was good, though. It was really good.
It's good. It's okay. These CW shows right now are still like kind of... Supernatural got a lot better.
Had a better second episode.
Well, it's because we needed Crowley, dude.
That first episode was abysmal, man.
It was cringeworthy.
I almost didn't even finish the first one, but the second one was much better. And I kind of forgive them now because I see what they're trying to set up a little bit with the new villain and whatnot, and I was just kind of being impatient.
Who was the cop? Like, did you totally think she was going to stick around? Like, I thought she was going to become a recurring character.
No.
You didn't think so?
No.
I totally thought that she had like she was pretty. She had like a face, and I totally. I mean, no one in the Supernatural universe really dies. Yeah.
Like, well, a lot of people have died. Remember, like,
but people come back.
No, not all the time, man. What about like the Roadhouse people?
The Roadhouse people,
dude. Don't you remember the Roadhouse from like the 3rd season?
Texas Roadhouse.
No, where all the hunters would like chill. There was the dude from Fast and the Furious.
Yeah, they did come back.
No, they didn't,
dude. Yes, there was one part where they were in heaven.
They see him in heaven. Yeah,
yeah. They're still...
But they didn't come back to life, and they're not like recurring characters. Again.
Nah, but and Joe was like a member of that, right?
Joe, Joanna Beth Harville.
Yeah, and Dean kind of had like a thing for her.
Oh, most certainly, yeah.
And but it was like the Hellhounds, right? That were, and you know what? This season they made some reference to like the pit. Like Lucifer and Michael, we can hear them crying out, right?
Well, they were screaming apparently because the darkness is loose and they know it. Because
every time I hear darkness, I'm like, darkness. Chappelle show, yeah. But go ahead. So they were like, apparently it's like an ancient thing.
I mean, the story in
Lucifer fears it.
In the show, the story is that the God before he created the rest of the world. Beat back the darkness, and he stored it on Lucifer via the Mark of Cain.
And Lucifer had the Mark of Cain?
Yeah, and he gave it to Cain, apparently.
I'd kind of be down to see...
Cain to Dean, and so the angels know the darkness. Like, the angels in heaven, too, are freaking out.
Well, they're all like... I thought it was an urban legend.
Well, yeah, but there's alarms sounding in heaven that have never gone off.
Can we just,
ever.
talk about how ridiculous it is that the angels think about urban legends. The angels are like, oh, I thought those were urban legends. It's like, dude, you guys are kind of urban legends, you know? Like, well, everything exists, dude. I mean, go figure. I'd kind of like to see Lucifer make a return.
Yeah.
That would be cool. We never saw Lucifer's true form, though, did we?
As an angel?
Well,
we never see anyone's true form as an angel. They always have a vessel.
Oh, really?
His vessel was that guy.
Oh, yeah, and even in that one, the first time they went to heaven, that one guy was like, my true form is 17,000 feet high.
And like Hannah's vessel is gone, so she's in some dude now?
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, that fucking...
Yeah.
We're
not going to say that.
That was... let me just say that seeing Hannah as a dude in Castiel, it's super weird.
And Castiel recognizes it. He's like, Hannah. It's like, dude, that's some guy.
It's just so bizarre. Like, why did they make that decision? And there's like some kind of sexual tension too. Well, like with Hannah.
Raphael had two different vessels. One was a dude and one was a guy. Or
one was a dude and one was a guy.
One was a guy and one was a.
What's the difference between a dude and a guy?
I mean, one's a dude, bro, and one's a guy.
One's a Chad.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know, man. We needed Crowley though.
Yeah.
Crowley's back. I'm so glad you like. What's his mom's name? Rowena.
Yeah.
I'm glad that we haven't seen any Rowena.
Dude,
so far.
she's super powerful, man. Her character's kind of awesome.
We've never seen her really do anything awesome yet, though.
Dude, she stopped Crowley and Castiel from touching her.
But there's, I feel like there hasn't been like a real she's
Castiel
going to become like
sick, dude.
Yeah, I know.
He's still
great.
cursed.
But that's not like a visually stunning thing. No. Like a lot of these, Lucifer fucking raised all kinds of hell.
Oh yeah.
Right. And is Rowena gonna become like a big bad?
I hope it waits for a while. Like she's gonna retreat and like study that Book of the Damned that she has and like learn super powerful spells.
They're probably gonna make her the big bad for the next season,
which I'm down with.
And keep Supernatural going forever.
Well, we know there's gonna be at least one more season.
Really?
Yeah.
After this?
Yeah. Season 13, I think, is what they've confirmed.
I'm pretty stoked that Sam
13 seasons.
Well, that kind of makes sense, right? Like 13 is the witching number.
Oh yeah, okay. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, so I'm really glad that they didn't keep this fucking darkness thing going forever, though. Like the illness, even though it's still going, but like. Glad they got that figured out, because if we had an entire fucking season of just darkness, and then Sam and Dean trying to save each other, it'd be like, oh, this is so tired, man. Yeah. So we got that all sorted.
Real quick, I want to talk about this. Apparently this show's been on for years, but I've never seen it, and I saw it for the first time the other day. Billy on the Street. It's fucking hilarious.
You know, sometimes, I don't know, sometimes things just take a while to gain traction. I'd never heard about it either, but I saw it on Reddit.
It's on True TV.
Oh, well, that makes sense.
It's kind of like a weird network for it to be on, but it is fucking hilarious.
You watched a whole episode?
I've watched a couple whole episodes. Like, I've seen the one with Chris Pratt. I've seen the one with Tina Fey.
Wait, that's a whole episode?
No, okay. The part with Chris Pratt is
just a segment.
It's a segment on the episode. The rest of the episode, he's by himself.
So why don't we tell the nice people at home what happens?
Oh, with Chris Pratt?
No, in general with these episodes. What does Billy on the Street really do? Like, in case you guys are interested in checking it out.
One time, okay.
I've seen it as well, but I'm going to let Alex describe it.
I don't think it's New York.
It is New York.
But he said before he's in St. Louis.
With Chris Pratt?
No, with another one.
Oh, okay. Well, he could be... Maybe he just goes all over the place.
So what he does is he has a cameraman following him, and he runs around the street like saying ridiculous things to passerbys.
Well, he tries to give people money.
Yeah, $1. I'll give you $1. He's like...
like, as if anyone even gives a shit about that.
He's like, who is it? He's walking with Chris Pratt. Who is this? I'll name this guy. I'll give you $1.
And that people are like, that's a handsome man.
What about the Swedish people? Were they English?
No, they were Irish. And they're like, oh, yes.
But, like, they didn't understand English or something. He was like, do you tell me who this is? And she was like, hello?
Yeah, no, she understood English. She was just like, she didn't know what to say.
So many people are like, no, I don't want to talk to you. Like,
well, the guy's kind of an asshole. Like, let's keep it 100 here. Like, he runs up to people and he's like, hey, $1, have $1. Like, if someone came up to me, I'd be like, I don't want your fucking $1. What did you do with it?
Man, he is hilarious, dude. I gotta say.
Well, no, what's really funny is you put someone on the spot, and Chris Pratt he's a huge superstar now.
Yeah.
He is a superstar. His star shines very bright. But a lot of these people have no idea who... Like, if he was to walk around with, like, Karen Gillian, like, people would have no fucking idea who she is.
Yeah.
You know?
Except me.
Well...
I'd be like, dude, that's fucking Karen Gillian.
I'd be like, date me, girl! Date me now. She's married, I think, isn't she?
Oh, I don't know.
I don't know.
What a shame.
You know Rosie Huntington Whiteley?
What?
Isn't that her name?
Who's that?
She was in like Transformers, that one Transformers.
Oh, the third one.
Yeah. You know that she's like in a serious relationship with Jason Statham right now?
Oh, really?
For some reason, I figured that I was watching an episode of or a segment.
She was in. Dude, she has 3 acting credits, man.
Well, she's one of Victoria's Secret's like biggest models, I think.
Love Me Tender or Else. That's her first credit.
Wasn't she also in? She was also in Mad Max.
Yeah, Transformers: Dark of the Moon and Mad Max: Fury Road. She was this Angharad.
Dude, that...
The Splendid.
She was pregnant.
Yeah.
That Transformers movie was so bad. I can't even remember one part of it. Oh, it wasn't even... Megatron wasn't even really in it.
No, it was fucking...
The twist was like, this was a good Transformer, but he was actually like Darkseid or some shit.
It was Sentinel Prime, who led the Autobots before Optimus Prime. Apparently he had turned to the dark side.
That was like that's the last one with Shia LaBeouf, right?
Yeah.
Dude.
And then the next one was with Mark Wahlberg.
All of those
Marky
movies,
Mark.
all of those movies are really bad.
Yeah.
Like, there's not even one...
the first one's okay.
Yeah,
it's
well,
like,
that's what...
It's not great.
It made a lot of money, and that's what spawned the franchise, I guess. But, I watched... There's this YouTube channel called Fanboy Flicks, and I've been watching a few of their videos.
God, that sounds so lame. Fanboy Flicks?
Dude, it's because this guy reviews movies that, like, I wouldn't want to watch. Like, he did a review of It, and he was like, this movie...
You've never seen It?
No, dude, It was a 2-part television movie, alright? I don't have fucking 6 hours to watch It. It takes like 6 hours to watch It. I
saw it back in the day.
Yeah, but see, okay, so, and as a kid, did you think it was scary? Tim Curry is the most redeeming part of that movie. Tim Curry's awesome in everything.
Stephen King never really scared me. Like, I always thought Stephen King...
Well, like, The Shining was good, but that was because Stanley Kubrick.
Yeah.
Like, Stanley Kubrick was a fucking genius, and all of his shit is kind of scary, because that guy was crazy.
I mean, I was more scared by like, the first 2 Halloween movies than I was...
Okay,
of It.
It was not scary. That's the thing. Like, and he like walks you through it over the course of 10 minutes, and he's like, yeah, the first half is like, okay, there's like parts that there's balloons for some reason throughout the movie, and the balloons pop, and it's supposed to be like some cheap scare or whatever. But he also did this review of this Captain America movie that came out in 1990.
I know what you're talking about.
Have you seen that?
No, but I know it's terrible.
Dude, you should... Watching this like review is fucking hysterical. Like,
wait, are they video reviews?
Yeah, you're watching like parts of the movie and they're like, oh, this is the best part. Like, watch this, and then they cut over to this guy and he's like Captain America, and he. For some reason, Captain America teams up with the President of the United States to defeat Red Skull, who just looks like a guy with a bad skin condition. Okay. And Captain America, like, there are several parts throughout that movie where, like, there's this, I don't know if it's a running gag or what the fuck is going on, but Captain America steals people's cars. He's like, he tricks them. Like, there's this one part where this fat guy is driving Captain America, and he's like, wait, pull over. So he gets out of the car and like walks away, and he's like, wait. The fat guy gets out of the car and follows Captain America, and he's like, wait, man, what's going on? We need you. And Captain America just dashes past him and steals his car. It's like a total gag of like, make the fat guy run or run faster than the fat guy. It's
and
totally
Captain
fun.
America doesn't steal people's cars? Like...
Dude, he does this like 8 times throughout this old movie.
He carjacks 8 different people?
No bullshit. And then he teams up with this girl. I don't know. Dude, watching this review, it's... the bottom line here is I was like, dude, holy shit, like, this was probably one of the worst... This is at the time when the new Batman came out, or Batman was... Tim Burton's Batman came out. Yeah. Like, this was a couple years after that. I think it was 1990 when this came out, or 91. And Burton's Batman came out in 86, I think. Or 87, the first Batman, yeah. So that DC was definitely ruling at that point, and this Captain America movie is laughably bad. I think that we should watch it at some point, just to talk about it.
I like how we've gotten to the point where, for the most part, both sides have pretty good movies.
Yeah, they do. But DC kind of fell off for a while.
They're catching up. They're trying.
Well, it was the fucking Schumacher curse, man.
Yeah.
Schumacher totally fucked it up, and then Iron Man came along.
He knows it too.
Oh, he doesn't give a shit.
No, but he said it.
Oh, he does apologize for it every so often.
He's like, I fucked that up. He's like, there were just so many things we did wrong.
Well, I think that it was kind of a situation where the studio had a lot of say or something too, right? I don't know.
Fucking Warner Bros, man. Like, okay, I love almost all the Warner Brothers properties, but it's like sometimes they don't know what they're doing.
Sometimes
man.
Like the new Pan.
Yeah.
That's been a colossal flop for Warner Bros. They said, what did they say? That it's like they've lost a ton
They've already
of money
lost like $170 million.
Holy shit. Can you imagine? That's more fortunes than anyone can fucking count.
Well, was it Warner Bros. Who lost money on that fucking We Are Your Friends movie too? Where they're like, oh, it's an art project for Zac Efron. Like,
yeah,
what?
But I don't think that they spent very much money on that either.
Yeah.
I honestly think, like we talked about this a while back, I think that Zac Efron probably financed that movie. Or a close, I don't know. He probably got financing for it though. Or Warner Bros. Is on his ass right now. Like, Mr. Efron, you need to pay our fucking accountant back or some shit.
Yeah. So speaking of studios that are doing things right, I mean, Disney definitely knows what they're doing. And like, we've seen the new teaser for Star Wars The Force Awakens. It's only 15 seconds, but we finally saw what Dameron Poe looks like. Oscar Isaac, he looks awesome. Like, all his roles, he's looked so different. Like, if you see him in Ex Machina, he's like this semi-buff science dude with like short hair. And in Star Wars, he's got like almost this like pompadour thing going on.
Tom Hardy, kind of. Tom Hardy has different things going on.
Have you? Well, that's totally true because now Tom Hardy's going to be in a Civil War movie.
Christian Bale actually does that a lot too. Like The Machinist. Have you seen that movie where he's like super skinny, and then American Psycho. He fluctuates his weight a lot. That guy must be really unhealthy or super healthy. I don't know how it works.
What's this movie, dude?
Did you know Tom Hardy's only like 5'8"?
Really?
Only like 5'8". He had to stand on a box when he was shooting things as Bane.
Wait, Tom Hardy's signed to do a Splinter Cell movie coming out in 2017?
You know what, man? That'll probably be pretty good. I think Tom Hardy's legit, man.
Oh yeah, I totally, dude. I thought Tom Hardy was legit since I saw Star Trek Nemesis, which came out in 2001.
I have no idea.
He played Patrick Stewart's clone.
Oh, really?
Yeah. He was an evil clone of Captain Picard who became the leader of a Reman, like a
younger clone of him, or did they make him old?
No, he was younger.
Like old makeup.
He looked like what Captain Picard looked like in his early 20s. You know?
Okay.
Yeah, and he was super skinny, man. Like real like Patrick Stewart skinny. You know, like he wasn't all beefed up.
Patrick
like he
Stewart
was
is
for
like
Bane.
Patrick Stewart's like old man skinny.
Yeah.
Like, he's got the old man skinny thing going on. It's pretty tight. Patrick Stewart's going to be young forever, though.
So either way, the teaser was cool. Tonight, actually, if you're listening to this on Monday, Monday Night Football on ABC, I believe. I think it's ABC. That's why they're doing it on Monday night. They're releasing the entire trailer during Monday Night Football, and tickets go on sale tomorrow.
It's got to be today. ABC because that's owned by Disney.
Yeah.
But one thing that I can say is how many... Like, there are very few Disney movies that actually, like, sucked, you know? I think, like, the ones that they make an effort on...
Didn't they have a new animated film out this past week, too?
I don't know. It?
No.
No, I don't know, but, realistically, any of the movies that they really finance, like, they put a lot of money into... Not the B movies that like Air Bud or whatever.
Well, that's old, man. That's from a different time, you know.
I mean, but Air Bud also made money. Like that's the sad thing.
I mean, I think I was young enough to have watched Air Bud
and enjoyed it.
Maybe if I was like 5 or something, I probably enjoyed Air Bud.
Did you also enjoy Air Bud 15? Where they have they're still I think making sequels of Air Bud.
What is that? Dude, there was an animated film that came out recently.
Disney has a huge market. I mean, but I haven't seen... There are very few Disney movies that really, really suck. Into the Woods, I guess, was a bad one. But you know what? When you're going to watch that... Like, we had Watch Out Loud on the show a while back, and he was talking about how horrific Into the Woods, like, the experience was for him. But, dude, I remember watching the original Into the Woods when I was in high school in a theater class, and it was a musical. It's a fucking musical. Yeah. Like, it's not like this new...
This was a bad musical, I thought. I thought people said it was bad.
I don't know.
Like, the singing wasn't good, and, like, some of the lyrics were just really bad.
Okay,
and, like...
well, you know what? But the original, like, Into the Woods is not very good either.
Oh.
So I don't know if they change, like if they really changed a bunch of stuff.
Maybe it's just a shit story.
It is kind of a shit story. I never enjoyed it. I thought it was really boring.
Yeah.
But I think that the problem was they marketed it like it was a fantasy, like, you know, kick-ass, like some kind of Lion Witch in the Wardrobe thing or some shit. Like, and people were like, all right, I'm gonna go watch this, and they were like, holy shit, this is a fucking 3-hour-long musical.
Yeah.
So that's one situation.
So today, go pre-order your tickets for Star Wars Episode 7. I know I'm going to be ordering tickets tomorrow. So
how many tickets are you going to order?
Probably like 10, because I know of 10 people who are going to come.
Okay.
Yeah.
You say that, but
I said I was going to buy a whole row, which is like 10 seats, dude.
He's getting defensive. But you know what? What's going to happen is you're going to buy a whole row, and there's going to be people right behind you, like burping and farting, and like, oh yeah. There's always going to be some obnoxious motherfucker in the theater. Like, oh yeah, Luke Skywalker, you know?
Dude, I swear, I'm going to talk about The Martian here in a minute, but some of the people in that theater were so obnoxious.
In The Martian?
Like, yes, like.
So you felt my pain when I was watching Ant-Man.
No, I mean, I've always felt the pain, like when people are like.
Like,
it's like, what the fuck?
Were people really laughing in The Martian?
Yeah, dude. Like, there were some funny lines, but people acted like it was the funniest shit they've ever heard in their life. Oh, man.
The worst thing is that you have these theaters where people can eat meals. So it's like you'll like be sitting next to some guy who's like scarfing down a fucking burger. And you know what? Like, I try to, like, when I'm in a movie theater, I try to have some kind of etiquette. And honestly, they should kind of abolish popcorn in movie theaters because it's so fucking loud. Like, we watched Crimson Peak, and I ate a whole bucket of popcorn in there.
The thing that makes me sad is, like, during scenes that are meant to be, like...
silent?
You know, like, the silence is kind of what sets the tone for the scene.
Oh, it's all about pacing, too.
And people are like... You hear, like, some couple fucking blabbering at each other. It's like, why'd you guys even come to the movie if you wanted to have a fucking conversation?
Well, it's because they think that it's their thing, you know, but they don't take into consideration all the other people that are trying to enjoy themselves around them, too.
Like, literally, some bitch 3 seats down from me pulled out her cell phone, and literally, the minute she did, the light was, like, in my fucking eyes. And I was like, wow.
She didn't even have the courtesy to turn the brightness all the way down.
One guy was walking behind our chairs and fucking pushed them so hard, and I turned back and I was like, what?
Wait, are you talking about when we saw Crimson Peak?
Yes.
No, that was a guy who was, like, working at the movie theater, and he was carrying...
he was delivering their food.
But he was carrying, like, a pizza and a tray of nachos and some tacos, and I swear that guy's, like, vest or his ass or something, like, brushed against my head, and that was the scariest part of that movie.
Oh my God.
I was like, whoa, what the fuck, man? I turned around, and this guy's, like, carrying something. He's like, here's your food, man. And this fucking family right behind us was like, oh, thank you so much. It's like, dude, we're fucking watching a movie right now.
The problem is they need to be more strict with it. Like, I'm glad they're building an Alamo Drafthouse, because the one we're at is a Cinemark movie bistro. And Alamo Drafthouse, they have the same thing. You can get alcohol, you know, beer.
But they have some policies there, like
you have to be, if you want to order food, there's a time limit. You know, you can't, like, at one point during that movie, someone got their food like 20 minutes in.
Yeah.
And I was like, what the fuck? This guy is standing right in front of the screen, like, delivering food.
It totally kills the atmosphere.
At Alamo Drafthouse, once the lights are off, you cannot order anything else.
And they can't bring it out to you. Well, that's smart.
Yeah.
And you'll get kicked out for talking and shit.
Oh, yeah.
So, that's legit. I can appreciate that.
I'm glad they're building.
It's going to be a while before anything like that even opens. And all. They're like not.
I think it's like a year and a half away, man.
Yeah.
They already cleared, like, they're going to start building right now.
Everything, just for the record, guys, I don't know where all of you guys are listening from. If you're listening from somewhere cool, tweet us and let us know. But we're in El Paso, Texas, and everything here takes forever to get done. Like, there's an on-ramp that would have made me getting to the movies, like, so much easier. It's this executive on-ramp, and they've taken literally like 8 months to fix it, you know? To build this Alamo Drafthouse that we're talking about, it's literally been in progress for like 5 years.
Well, they had to clear out a fucking mountain, man. Like, they literally cut away part of a mountain.
I mean, but things are quicker in other cities.
No, I totally agree.
I've watched, one time I and this is Disney as well, you know, but one time when I was growing up, I went to Disneyland with my dad, and we had watched them lay a sidewalk and build this entire like cross intersection or whatever, like put the light up, do everything over the course of 4 days.
Yeah.
And by the time we left Disneyland, it was already done. Like, everything was done. They already planted all of this stuff. It looked beautiful. It was like, dude, that took... They did that in a course of a week. Like, what would have taken here in El Paso a year and a half to finish.
Yeah,
it maybe just be like improper city planning or something like that.
It most definitely is.
But,
and they pay, you know, the city is always trying to get the cheapest deal on construction. And so they end up getting incompetent people working for them.
Yeah.
And that's why it takes longer. Like, there's a big part of our downtown here called San Jacinto Plaza. The city has fired 2 different contractors from the job, and it's taken like 3 extra years just because they originally went with the cheapest deal and like the shittiest contractor.
What are they trying to do there?
They're just rebuilding it, like completely
revamping it.
Revamping it, yeah.
Historic Sodo Sopa.
It's not that.
They're trying to do that in like several different places in this city, which is why
now they
South
have those
Park was
coffee
so
things. What are they called? Are you familiar with
downtown?
This? They're these coffee places where they serve coffee, but they're built out of
shipping containers.
Yes,
yeah, totally.
Yes.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
That's totally Sodo Sopa.
Historic, the villas at Kenny's house.
Excuse me, I just want to let you know that I'm a Yelper.
So you watched that?
Yeah.
Boogers and cum? Oh my god, dude, that was actually like. I've actually been really impressed with South Park this season too.
Some people are so ridiculous, man. They were like, that episode sucked until they had the boogers and cums.
Oh my god, why? The episode was really good.
It was good.
I think the funniest part of the episode was seeing Cartman come up to like the window and like do the bicycle.
Yeah.
He was like, David, you ride your teeny tiny bicyclette out of school. Oh, yeah, man. But speaking of city planning, I'm sure that city planning wasn't very good in Buffalo, New York in the 1800s. When we were watching Crimson Peak, one thing that I noticed was that they had fucking, like, the streets were filled with shit.
Well, I mean, that's what happens back then.
Yeah, well, I literally...
I mean, when people ride horses around, Crimson Peak wasn't... Did they have cars in Crimson Peak?
Yeah, it was like the dawn of the automobile age. I think
like 1914.
They were like shit. The doctor has this new Ford.
Okay, real quick before we talk about these 2 movies that we saw the trailer for Batman Bad Blood, the Bad Blood, the newest DC animated.
This is the introduction of the Bat family.
Yeah,
like the full-on Bat family.
But it's got its own like twist on it. I don't know how I feel about that.
I don't know who the villain is. I thought that is it Arkham Knight or is it like
no
who I don't know.
It's not Arkham Knight.
I don't know who it is.
Arkham Knight was solely invented for that game.
They're not gonna. You don't think they're gonna do any?
Arkham Knight was just the Red Hood.
Oh really? I still haven't played the game.
Oh yeah,
I really don't give a shit.
It's too late for me to care about spoilers.
I really don't care either way. I think that if you're gonna play that game, you just play it for the fun value and like this. I've heard about the story too. I know about it, but I read this. I've been reading the Flashpoint crossovers and just so I can get back into New 52. And the Flashpoint, like, World of Superman and stuff has... I had no idea. I thought it was just about Superman, but it has, like, all of these fucking crazy stories. And one of these parts was about, Tracy 13, she's got, like, mystical powers. And at some point she dated Blue Beetle, Jaime Reyes.
Yeah.
She's, like, a minor DC character. But it was a really cool story. And at one point she goes to Gotham in the Flashpoint universe and she talks to a priest and they like suddenly reveal like that it's Jason Todd.
The priest.
And he was like, my name is Father Todd, but you can call me Jason. I was like, oh my god, Father Todd? Okay. Yeah, I don't think we'll be seeing any Father Todd in Batman Bad Blood.
They also introduced 2 pretty big comic book characters in Flash and Gotham this past week. We got Silver St. Cloud, who is a huge Batman love interest in Gotham.
Yeah.
And we got the other chick.
I hope that little Bruce bangs her, dude. I sent you a message. I was like, bro, I hope that little Bruce gets that on, dude.
Okay.
She looks a little bit old for little Bruce, though.
But then you see her later, and she doesn't really, like...
Well, because she's in school and stuff.
Yeah.
What's his name is like, this is my ward. I think that...
Theo Gallivan. Let's start... What are the... Okay, the main theory is that he's Ra's al Ghul.
I think that that's bullshit, dude.
I know that's bullshit. I don't have to think that.
He does... But honestly, I want to see, like... He can't be Ra's al Ghul, dude. I want to see, like...
Who did you say you thought he was?
He's the leader of the Court of Owls.
I said that'd be okay.
But doesn't it kind of make sense? Because he was like, my family built this city. And
yeah, it totally makes sense.
Then there was I also think that the police, like, commissioner, the captain, might be a member of Court of Owls, too. Because when they show...
The new one?
Yeah.
Or which one?
The new one, Michael Chiklis.
He's not the commissioner.
Or he's the captain.
He's a captain.
Yeah, I think that he might be a member of the Court of Owls too, though, because when they introduced him in the background, there's a huge owl in the. I
didn't notice that.
Yeah, it was. I saw a screenshot.
Michael Chiklis is great.
I think that show needed him. To be honest, like he's a way stronger actor than the previous.
Well, I mean,
captain.
I don't
it's
think
a different thing, but
like all the. What I've said from the beginning is that Gotham has really strong acting, almost in all directions. It's just the writing that kind of holds it back.
You know what? I kind of disagree though, because there are some actors on that show that I'm just like, oh no, don't talk.
But it's
Selena Kyle. She was actually pretty good in the last one because she had one line.
But that's all the direction she's giving, man, and like the writers who thought up her storyline for this show, and it's like. That's dumb.
Dude, it's not really a spoiler, but can I just say Alfred fucking pimp slapped her?
I know, dude. Like, that was the best part of the whole episode.
Because you've been like waiting for that this whole time.
He punched her, man.
Dude, that was fucking brutal.
Yeah.
I was like, well, you just punched a 13-year-old girl. And he was like, I know you killed my mate.
Well, I mean, she did. She killed his fucking friend.
Yeah,
but his friend was gonna kill Bruce and her anyway.
Dude, he fucking punched a girl. Like, a little girl.
Had someone saw that, Alfred would be going to jail. I don't know.
Oh my god, he would be going
Gotham, so maybe he might have gotten away with it.
I don't know. I was kind of like, my mouth was open when I saw that. I was like, whoa, I can't believe that they did that. What's his name? Robin Lord Taylor? Uh-huh. Super strong acting in this last episode.
Yeah.
I'd like to see the Penguin going through some kind of problems in his life or some, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
We don't ever really get to see that. He's been kind of one-dimensional this whole time, like his struggle to come to power.
I mean, the Penguin is always one-dimensional. It's just how well that dimension is done for me. You know, it's like...
The Penguin's always about money, and he's kind of a gangster, and this is like a different thing, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's that. I think it's that too, but his mother's too much a part of this shit. And it's like, mother! Like, they have my mother butch, and it's like, well, fuck, man.
Well, she's kind of got to die.
Yeah.
And then it should send him over the edge and make him totally just brutal.
Don't worry, she's still alive on Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt.
Oh, yeah, she's in Unbreakable. Unbreakable!
Damn it.
They should have, like, a Gotham theme from the guy who made that song.
So, in Flash, we got Patty Spivot. He was a big character in New 52 Flash.
In Arrow, we got Anarchy.
Oh, yeah.
Which is a Batman villain. Like, what the fuck? And then, Arrow is borrowing too heavily from the Bruce Wayne Gotham thing.
But now they're starting to step away from it.
Nah, I really don't think so. Like, Thea is fucking kind of like Damian Wayne.
No.
Dude, and
she's kind of like Jason Todd.
I agree with that.
And she's more like Roy Harper than anyone, which I think is okay.
No, I think she's a little bit of Jason Todd in the sense of like the Lazarus Pit. That's totally Jason Todd. But she's Damian Wayne in the sense of like it's a family relationship, and she's like rebellious and trying to do her own thing. She doesn't listen to Ollie, and she, like Damian's totally.
But
like
she's
that.
all fucked up from the pit. That's why she's.
But that's why the Jason Todd part is that she's like freaking out and fucking almost killing people.
Yeah.
Damian is just fucking doing his own thing.
The only reason Damian almost kills people is because he was trained by the League,
right?
And that's what
Oliver Malcolm,
and that's why Oliver says the same thing to her. The moves you're using are made for one thing: to cripple. Like,
isn't that kind of like a Bruce Wayne thing? Like he would say that to
But
Damian?
Damian Wayne is so new, man. What does it fucking matter?
He's not that new.
He's pretty new.
He's been around for like 10 fucking years.
Yeah.
That's not very new.
It's pretty new.
Arrow is way newer than Damian fucking Wayne.
But then you also got to realize that she's also like a Mia Dearden type thing, and like she's also very much a Roy Harper type character too.
Who's Mia Dearden?
It's a Red Arrow in the comics.
Oh, really?
Yeah, a Speedy, another sidekick to Green Arrow.
I did not know that.
It's a female named Mia Dearden. That's who her Thea, Mia, like, you know.
Oh, so maybe they're not really taking too many liberties. Why did they change the name?
Because they made her Oliver's sister instead. I'm not sure what relation she was to Oliver.
Oh, they were like, Oliver needs a sister.
I guess.
Oh, you know why? You know why the whole reason that they did that was for the first season being like, she has a drug problem. And then like Oliver comes back and he's like, Thea, you have drug problems.
The whole jungle thing though, and the island is all spot on. That's all from Green Arrow's like original storyline.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, so now rest in peace to one of the Green Arrow characters, the wig, flashback wig.
Oh yeah.
Rest in peace to it. It's
now he just looks like a current Oliver. It's like, dude, you can't even tell the difference. Like, they didn't even bother with like a little CGI to make him look younger. They're just like, fuck it, cut his hair. Like,
dude, now what's his name? Stephen Amell actually tweeted. He was like, "Rest in peace, wig, flashback wig." That guy's fucking hilarious, man. Yeah. You know what I looked up recently was the salmon ladder.
Yeah.
And nobody really does that.
It's a CrossFit thing.
The only reason... No, it's a parkour thing more so. Well, they have it at, like, CrossFit gyms sometimes.
Yeah.
But nobody really does that. Like, the only reason they did that in the Arrow episode, which they've only done it once, and then just now they reference it every so often, was just to show...
How buff he is.
How buff Stephen Amell was. They did it with Flash. Flash showed up. He's like, I don't know. I don't see how hard that is.
No, they did it a bunch, man. In the first and second season, he was on the salmon ladder in probably 6 or 7 episodes.
Well, I kind of want to see him continue to do it.
In the third season, he wasn't on it once, except Ray Palmer was on it once.
Oh, yeah.
And that was the only time we saw the salmon ladder.
You know what? Stephen Amell would probably hate me for saying that. Like, I just want to continue seeing him do this. He'd be like, fuck, man, it's probably so hard.
It's a workout, for sure.
Can we talk about, really quick, Vibe's powers?
Sure.
Like, Vibe's powers are totally not Vibe's powers.
I mean, they are.
He has
somewhat.
Like flashbacks. That's not really like a Vibe thing.
No, but he can interpret the fabric of reality. And you know, like,
can Vibe do that though?
In the comics, yeah.
I thought that Vibe was kind of like Quake.
No.
No?
Mm-mm. Well, he is in the sense that he understands like frequencies and vibrations and shit. But he also has something else going on with his powers.
He's also an expert breakdancer. Like, no bullshit, he really is.
Okay, so I read a little bit of JLA, like the first 3 issues, just because...
The new 52 JLA.
Yeah, just to see what it was like. And
I think I read it.
It's really good, and Vibe is like the one... Like, Amanda Waller wants to use Vibe for the JLA because he's like one of the few people who could stop Flash if need be, because he can see the frequencies at which the Flash is like vibrating.
I've read that.
Yeah,
for sure. Yeah. It's good, but in the show, Dr. Stein like figures out that he's like Cisco, we have to do something about this. Oh, we simply must. Like, Dr. Stein, what the fuck are you doing? Like, you're married, dude. Like, go home to your fucking wife.
He's not going to be happy until he's like dead again and leaves his wife like all alone.
Well, why like, I just don't understand why Dr. Stein's like hanging around. Like,
I think they're keeping him around until Ronnie comes back or some shit.
Okay, so I think that Ronnie got stuck in the other portal.
Possibly.
That's probably... Well, how can they kill him off? You know? But the whole explanation of the 52 Earths, was that not really shabby? I thought that was shabby as fuck. They were like, they didn't really explain it, and Dr. Stein, like, for some reason knows that there's exactly 52 other Earths.
Yeah, that was weird.
He was like, oh, there's got, you know, it's like, okay, you don't know that. That's like, okay, comics, you know? They're like, DC Comics confirmed. You know, I don't know.
Multiverse confirmed.
I feel like one thing I will say is I think Jay Garrick is really strong in the show, and his costume actually looks really good.
Yeah, it does.
The Flash of two Earths thing where she was like, "Help me, Flash," and they're like, "I'm coming." I was like, "Oh god."
And he taught Barry how to throw lightning.
But it's also like, we get it. Like, Barry, you had a mentor, and you've been hurt, and like, they keep fucking doing that, you know?
I've been hurt by someone like you before. It's like, whoa, dude, that sounds really fucking wrong, Barry.
It's kind of homoerotic.
Phrasing, dude, phrasing.
I don't know. But I hopefully it gets better. I want to know what the fuck happened to Grodd.
Yeah.
They haven't, like, followed up on that at all. The reverse, or Professor Zoom's suit is all wrong, too. Did you notice that?
I couldn't even see it, man. It's hard to see.
Maybe they just shadowed it over or something.
Yeah.
But he's got to be yellow too.
We hardly saw any of it.
Doesn't Zoom have to be yellow?
I guess.
And then we got Harrison Wells confirmed, and I don't know why the fuck we needed to see
Harrison Wells
that.
is on Earth too, I guess is what they were saying.
But is it also Thawne?
Nah.
And he's like...
That's what it looked like, because he was all sinister.
They made it really menacing.
Yeah.
Who knows? Like, what... I mean, but who... Like, really, at that point, who cares?
Basically, the point of all this is after a strong first season, the second season has been somewhat meh.
Mediocre.
Yeah.
Mediocre. Okay, so...
Let's move on. Let's talk about these two movies we saw. I'll talk about The Martian first real quick.
Okay.
Great cast. I mean, Matt Damon, Jessica Chastain, Kate Mara. Who else was in that? Kristen Wiig, Jeff Daniels, Michael Pena, the dude from Ant-Man and all that other shit. Sean Bean, like...
Did he die?
No, he didn't die.
Oh, that's too bad.
Sean Bean was great, too. Sebastian Stan, fucking Winter Soldier, was in it. Chiwetel Ejiofor, Benedict Wong from Marco Polo.
He's awesome.
Yeah.
I love Benedict Wong.
Donald Glover. Like, the cast was really good.
Who did Donald Glover play?
He played, like, this astrophysicist who worked at NASA who's, like... He doesn't shower, and he's, like, a super nerd, and he's, like, really awkward and shit. Yeah, it was good.
So, you and I... We kind of hated on the trailer for this. We thought it was ridiculous. And
when we first saw it.
Well,
I hated mainly on the name, because I still think the name is fucking dumb.
Well, I had no idea that it was a Ridley Scott movie as well, and I really trust... I think that Ridley Scott's awesome. He knows what the fuck he's doing.
Oh, most definitely.
What was your impression of the film like? What rating would you give it in the end?
I give it, like, 8.5. I think
that's really good.
It's deserving of 8.5.
You think it's going to win an Oscar?
I mean, maybe, man, but fuck, it's hard to win Oscars as sci-fi movies. Like, sci-fi is still not as generally accepted as it should be, you know? But,
let me just ask you, is Matt Damon actually a Martian?
No.
Okay, that would be a terrible twist.
Well, I mean, technically he is a Martian, but he doesn't have alien DNA. He's a human. No, dude. He is a human who lived on Mars for an extended period of time. Therefore, he is a Martian, you know? Yeah.
It's debatable. Okay, so what? Jessica Chastain, who does she play? She's awesome.
She plays, like, the captain of the mission, and, like... The rest of the team, besides Matt Damon, they're not really the main character. Like, they're important to the story, but after they leave him on Mars, and it's mostly about Matt Damon and his struggle.
Is he good?
Yeah, he's really good.
He's always good.
I don't know if I'm guessing it was CGI, but by the end of it, he was, like, machinist skinny, too.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It was probably CGI.
So he couldn't grow food, I guess. He, like, sucked at it?
He did, but you'll find that out if you go see it for yourself.
Okay, right on. Jessica Chastain is an amazing actress. I have a newfound respect for her after watching Crimson Peak.
Have you seen Zero Dark 30?
No.
Oh, okay, that was, like, her first big role. Dude, even Chris Pratt was in Zero Dark 30.
Chris Pratt was in Wanted.
Yeah.
He was the guy who got a fucking keyboard smash.
He was his best friend. The guy who, like...
Best friend. Yeah. I'm doing air quotes right now.
But
he was a jerk.
Either way, Jessica Chastain, man, like, to see, like, on Monday I went and saw The Martian, saw her in that, and it was such, like, a straight edge role.
Was she American in that?
Yeah, she was American, spoke regular English, and then to see her in Crimson Peak as this, like, her hair was black, and she had an English accent, and she was like, she had this weird on-screen chemistry with Tom Hiddleston. I don't know, it was really weird.
Yeah, I thought that she had a really good chemistry with everyone on screen.
Yeah,
to be honest, and her, if you watch the movie, her character tics are really amazing. She's probably the one thing that stood out from that film the most for me. She does a lot of, like,
I'd say the lead.
She's pouring the tea and she's like rubbing the spoon.
Like scraping it.
Like she does a lot of that and
very subtle stuff.
Yeah, her character tics are awesome though.
The main lead, Mia Wasikowska is her name.
You're right.
She was okay. She wasn't
okay.
bad.
She was good. Let me say that the fucking star of that movie is the set design.
Oh, dude, it's a Guillermo del Toro film. Of course it was the
Dude,
visuals and the set design are all amazing.
The house was unbelievable.
Oh, yeah.
But the kind of sad thing that I'll say about Crimson Peak is that I kind of wanted to see more of the house.
Yeah.
I wanted it to be more of a ghost story.
The problem is, though, like, I said this right when the movie ended. I was like, the first hour was really slow. And you said the whole movie was slow, and I kind of agree with that.
Slow.
But the first hour, man, was like excruciatingly slow.
Okay, so we had watched that first, and I was like, I have no idea how long this movie is. I was like, how they've only done exposition right here,
yeah,
and that's kind of a shame because they could have spent that time like getting into it a little bit quicker, and then telling the rest of the story and making it a little bit more interesting. But I'm sure that Del Toro wanted to make it like a 4-hour-long movie, and they had to cut it down. There's probably there'll be a director's cut with way more cool shit.
And just to say, just saying that the first hour was kind of slow doesn't mean that it's bad. There was a lot of setup and important stuff going on in the first hour.
Totally.
That was directly related to what happened in the second hour. The second hour is just where all the action was.
Right.
Yeah.
I thought that the ghosts looked lame.
I wasn't against them,
dude.
The ghosts weren't
scary.
meant to be scary though. They were just the ghosts were more what lore wise what ghosts are. Like they're giving a warning. Like they're tortured souls who are warning others of their demise, and I think that's what more of it was.
I was kind of hoping that the movie would be pretty scary. And in the very beginning, there was a bunch of cheap fucking jump scares. And I was like, that's so lame for Del Toro.
But I mean, spoiler alert if you don't want to hear spoilers for Crimson
Fast forward.
Peak. No, just leave, because this is the end of the show. We have one more topic after this.
Just get the hell out of here. Thanks for listening, though.
But, yeah, so, I thought it was weird that the ghosts weren't meant to be the main scary people, but the main scary people were always Tom Hiddleston and Jessica Chastain's characters. They're the real villains of the movie, because when you find out their story at the end.
Yeah, but okay, so here's the thing. She makes a point that the main character, what the fuck was her name? Emmy or Eunice or some shit like
Edith.
that? Edith, yeah.
And her dad was Jim Beaver from Supernatural.
Oh my god, he got
Bobby.
Okay, Guillermo del Toro has a fascination with smashing people's heads in. In Pan's Labyrinth, someone gets their head smashed in with a bottle, and this one, Jim Beaver gets his head smashed in on a sink.
And dude, the whole time, I thought it was fucking Tom Hiddleston's character who killed him.
Me too.
And at the end, they revealed that it was Jessica Chastain's character.
Which was kind of weird, because I was like, how,
That was a good twist.
It was good. It wasn't a not effective twist.
Because Hiddleston's character, Thomas Sharp,
he was conflicted,
and he was trying to redeem himself at the end.
Well, that's he was supposed, which made him a more profound character.
Yeah,
but I don't know, man. I feel like the ghosts, it should have just been a full on scarier thing. For instance, okay, so Edith in the very beginning says that only one person can see the ghosts. It's a personal thing. So Tom Hiddleston's character and Jessica Chastain's character could not see the ghost in the house.
Yeah.
Did you realize that?
But didn't they know?
No.
Wasn't it the ghost of their mother?
Dude, they had no idea they couldn't see the ghosts. They killed them. So it was it wasn't really personal to them. But she could see the ghost because they were trying to reach out to her, which kind of made it a little bit lame. I would have liked the haunting to be serious in that house, considering there were so many people that died there, and the house is supposed to be hundreds of years old.
But see, that's the thing.
It
wasn't the ghosts that were the real.
Well, it's not really even a ghost story, and it starts.
I gotta say, there's a lot of at one point I was like, is it? Why this movie is so romantic? It's so I feel like I was watching The Notebook at sometimes. I was like, God, it's a little gushy. Some of the writing.
There's a sex scene with Tom Hiddleston, and I was like, how did they even have sex? There's like, dude, it's Victorian England, and there are literally like 35 layers of fucking dress, and she like gets on top of him, and it's supposed to be. I was like, dude, this is not sexy at all.
Yeah.
Like it was. At one point, you know what? I actually like groaned. I was like, ugh, because at one point he like pulls up her dress, and I was like, oh, she must have the gnarliest fucking bush ever. Like I don't know. Just thinking about that time, the streets were covered in shit. Yeah. You said that that's like a normal thing. It probably was, but the set design.
I love the whole Crimson Peak thing. Like, you don't really figure out what Crimson Peak means until like halfway in the movie, and then then when you see it at the very end, like the way the castle looks and like all the snow around it, it looks visually stunning.
Yeah,
like,
the whole movie is visually stunning.
Yeah.
But the acting in some parts, the lawyer, when he tells who's the guy that was in Sons of Anarchy?
Charlie Hunnam. Okay, wait. Yeah. Can we talk about how GDT, man, he's got an obsession with Charlie Hunnam and Burn Gorman. Burn Gorman was
Charlie Hunnam? What? Why?
He was in Pacific Rim. He was the lead in Pacific Rim.
I did not know that.
And Burn Gorman was in Pacific Rim too. Burn Gorman is Carl Tanner from Game of Thrones.
And he was in Torchwood. He's been in a bunch of stuff. I think that he's a good actor.
No, he's a great actor.
But I think that Charlie Hunnam is kind of lackluster, to be honest. And I don't know.
You haven't seen Pacific Rim?
No, he's good, but he was definitely better than the lawyer. The lawyer, So
the lawyer was just a very generic character.
So the movie was kind of procedural too. Like it was kind of a detective story too. Like he was a doctor, he was an ophthalmologist, but he was also like they subtly get at the fact like she sees some Arthur Conan Doyle in his office, and he's oh, you're a detective, and he's like, oh yeah, I am. I guess I am a detective, and he starts like investigating the fucking this crime or whatever. But and he did a good job, you know. He was very perceptive, and at one point, he tells the lawyer, he was like, don't you think that it's a little bit strange that this one check was cut to the baronet? Or whatever,
yeah.
And the lawyer was like, "As a matter of fact, I do think that that's weird. There was a private investigator, you know, and it was just like that was totally just there for the purpose of being there.
It was there to facilitate him meeting the private investigator.
It was there to progress the story. They could have gone about that like the movie was probably running on like." They were like, listen, man, this movie can't be 4 hours long, so you need to fucking progress this.
You can't keep shooting anymore. Like, if you keep shooting, it's going to cost us another $50 million. Like, stop.
I had heard at one point that Guillermo del Toro wanted to do an actual film of Disney's Haunted Mansion, and I thought while I was watching this, at many points, that's the way that Guillermo del Toro would have envisioned the Haunted Mansion being, like that house.
Yeah,
you know, like, well, the set design is fucking awesome. Like I can't say that enough. Like the hallways.
It's so disappointing that we're never gonna get to see what he had like a vision for the Justice League Dark movie.
It would have
been so good.
I think that the house would have kind of been a cross between the Haunted Mansion and the House of Mystery. Like where,
bit, yeah.
I don't know if it's a House of Mystery. But
I know what you're talking. The secret house that Constantine knows about.
Well, it's their base.
Yeah,
like Frankenstein and all of them are based there. But that house has endless hallways too.
It's like Hogwarts.
Yeah, no, it's ever changing. It's a huge, creepy house, and there's something like really romantic and awesome. Just thinking about a house that's haunted and it's gigantic, and I mean you turn on the faucet and it runs red, and it's like it's a ghost story. But then this movie was kind of like not really a ghost story.
It was what they said it was,
kind
of
not
a
really
gothic romance. Like I feel like that's a fair
kind of not really a romance either, though.
It was though. Like at some points, it was really gushy, man, and I was like, oh.
But I feel like, I mean, for what it's worth, I feel like the movie never hit home on any of those ends. In the very end, it's like, okay, there's that romance aspect, like the ghost, you know, and that was sad. But that was a kind of cathartic moment. Like I was like, okay, like I got that, but. Throughout the rest of the movie, nothing was really that effective, in my opinion. The best part of the movie was Jessica Chastain. Like, her, as far as the acting goes. And then Jim Beaver was good. Man. I thought Jim Beaver was quite good for his, like... I don't think I've ever seen him on the silver screen before. By the way, which is a movie screen.
Yeah. I mean,
Tom Hiddleston was very good as well.
Jim Beaver, like, if you look at him, like, in Star Trek, where he's, like, he's an admiral or some shit, and then you go to him as, like, Bobby, which is some fucking, like...
kind of a redneck.
Backwoods dude who owns a junkyard, and then you
right.
go to this guy who's, like, a rich Southern gentleman, you know, like...
He's a good actor.
Yeah.
He's well-versed. I feel like Tom Hiddleston was good. I feel like Adrian Brody probably would have done the role better, to be honest. I feel like they couldn't get Adrian Brody or something. So,
dude, I feel like Adrian Brody is irrelevant now.
You do?
Yes.
I don't know. I think he's pretty fucking good, man.
No, he's a great actor.
He's won Oscars, I mean.
No, he is a great actor, but I'm just saying he is kind of irrelevant now. Like, people don't really hire Adrian Brody as a leading man anymore.
Well, it's not like he's in, like, Progressive commercials and shit.
No, but
Hi, I'm Adrian Brody for Progressive.
He was in Grand Budapest Hotel, which is, like, that won Oscars.
Nah, that's Wes Anderson. Wes Anderson has an obsession with casting the same people, too.
I mean, look at his 2015 credits. The Library Book, a short movie. Septembers of Shiraz, like, Dragon Blade, Backtrack, and Boredom. Those are his 2015 credits. Have you heard of any of those?
Well, how many movies is that? That's a lot of fucking movies, though.
2 of them are short films. 2 short films and 3 regular movies.
And who knows how good they'll be. But you know what? They're probably just paying his bills, and he doesn't really give a shit.
His upcoming projects, man. Emperor and Manhattan Nocturne. Like, no one's even heard of these.
Well, who are they directed by?
Manhattan Nocturne is Brian DeCubelis. I don't know who that is.
No idea who that is.
He doesn't even have any credits either. And it's written by the same guy. Emperor, which is action epic about a young girl who seeks revenge on the Holy Roman Emperor Charles V.
That could be good.
The rest of the cast is pretty lackluster, man.
Who's the director?
Lee Tamori.
Oh, I don't know who that is.
He did Next and Die Another Day, one of the most hated James Bond movies of all time.
Those are both. Next was a really bad movie as well.
Triple X State of the Union, the one with Ice Cube.
That's a really bad movie.
Yeah. So Adrian Brody is kind of irrelevant now.
Right. Tom Hiddleston definitely is not irrelevant. No. He was good. I don't know. I've got to say it one more time. If you go, it's worth, even if you listen to this, it's worth going to see the movie just like in theaters, just to experience all of the colors and the cinematography and like you're not going to really.
It would have been great in IMAX.
Or for sure, or even in 3D. I feel like just so that you can get the full aspect. It's a visually stunning film. Guillermo del Toro, I feel like he's such an ambitious dude. Like it's hard for him to fulfill, you know, his I don't know what am I trying to say?
Oh, dude,
his vision.
Dude, he has so many visions, man, and like you see. I mean, in the past year, how many projects has, like, he kind of had to back away from because he needs to, like, focus his efforts? But the guy has great ideas, man, and he just needs to keep working. Like, he should never stop working.
I don't think he can afford to. His head would probably explode.
Is the Assassin's Creed movie him, too? No, it's not.
It's
Justin Kurzel.
He was 100% signed on to that project and then dropped it. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, another project that he had to drop.
But see, that's a fucking shame too. I don't know, but you know
that movie is probably going to be good, man. Like,
yeah, for
Michael
sure.
Fassbender, Jeremy Irons, Brendan Gleeson. Like the cast is good.
He's so widespread though. Like Guillermo del Toro is so widespread. It kind of it makes you wonder as far as Crimson Peak goes. Like, what was his focus 100% on the project? You know,
probably was.
Was the studio did the studio have a lot to say? Because I feel like there were a lot of like holes in that movie.
Yeah.
It was good in the very end, like it was all right. They told a story and it made sense, but I feel like
he worked on the screenplay for Battle of Five Armies?
Guillermo del Toro did? I did not know that.
Him, Peter Jackson's, Philippa Boyens, and Fran Walsh all worked on the screenplay for Battle of Five Armies. Wow. Okay. Did not know that.
Wow.
And he worked on Desolation of Smog and the first one too. Wow. Okay. Did not know that. He has 13 upcoming projects, man.
Guillermo del Toro does?
Yeah.
For what, this year?
Pinocchio?
Dude, he's going to drop out of that too, guaranteed. He's going to be like, I can't do it.
Frankenstein? Hellboy 3.
Wait, guys, just for a second, listen to how ambitious all of these fucking projects are.
Haunted Mansion, it still has him listed for Haunted Mansion.
Really?
Troll Hunters, Saturn and the End of Days.
So you know what, man? If he does do the Haunted Mansion movie, I really hope that it's like kind of
he just reuses the set.
Well, no, but I hope that it covers the bases from what was not covered in this film. Like it's more. I hope. Well, obviously this wasn't a ghost story. This was something else. But the very beginning, like she's like, "Trust me, I know one thing: ghosts are real." And it's like, okay,
and everyone's like, "Bitch, ghost ain't real."
Like no one else is. Why did Charlie Hunnam at one point he reveals that he's into paranormal shit? That's kind of a weird thing to tell a chick that you're into.
He has a thing for her, man. That's why.
But that's...
he knew she does though. I think that's why he said it to be like, "Hey, I like ghosts too.
We should bone." But it was just kind of like, I feel like a lot of the stuff that happened with his character was a little bit like, it was just kind of there for the purpose of progressing the story. Yeah. You know? He was
Either way,
I'm an ophthalmologist. Like, I didn't fucking give a shit about that. At one point in the story as well, she was like, "He's the best man to see in town if you're feeling poorly." Dude, he's a fucking eye doctor.
Yeah, and then somehow he was like her dad's general physician. Like, what?
Maybe it's because it's like the 1800s and no one really gives a shit.
It can't be the 1800s. This is early 1900s.
Early 1900s. I don't know. It really didn't make any sense.
Either way, the movie was good. I enjoyed it.
I'd give it like a 6 or 7 out of 10.
7, I think, is.
And that's mostly for the set and Jessica Chastain, who's awesome and super sexy as a crazy bitch.
So, real quick, one last story in video games. I know we should probably talk about this a little more than we are, but we'll just kind of gloss over it, and we can talk about it more next week if we want to. Nintendo is reportedly distributing dev kits for their new console, the Nintendo what's it called? NX? The NX something. Yeah. It's going to be a hybrid console though. Like,
what does that mean?
It's going to be able to use discs like we use now for video games, but it's also going to have old style cartridge, I believe, is what they're saying. I don't know, man. It's kind of crazy. But if those rumors are true that they're releasing dev kits, it means that they're already getting video game developers to start making games for it.
Well, I think that's kind of a hopeful thing. Nintendo, the one thing that they fall short on is not releasing enough titles or enough good titles.
Well, and the Wii U, dude, has been a massive failure.
Has it really?
Yeah.
You know, I've talked about this before, but if only they had kind of better games, or like Pokemon. There's a lot of like cool shit that you could do with Pokemon, and they've kept
just bring back Pokemon Stadium, man. People will go nuts.
Yeah, but make Pokemon Stadium more relevant to this, to these audiences these days.
Yeah. Pokemon Snap, dude, come on.
No, fuck yeah, Pokemon Snap, but make it, Pokemon Snap. The past one you could finish it in like 3 hours, or less. But these days, if you really like went balls out on that, or even Luigi's Mansion, like doing some really cool shit with it, I think that Nintendo doesn't try hard enough. They keep their games based in the realm of what they know works for them.
Yeah, and it gets stale fast.
I mean, you know exactly what you're getting.
Super Mario Maker is one of like the most successful games they've had in the past couple years, actually. I've been surprised by how many people are playing it and like creating levels and sharing them and stuff. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, I've seen some really fucking brutal levels that are like impossible to win.
Exactly.
Or impossible to beat. But I don't know. I would kind of like to see. It would be. I don't know how you feel about this, but it would be kind of cool to see like an open world Mario game.
Oh, okay. I'm kind of against this.
Or an open world Pokemon game.
Every game need to be open world? I feel like every single game this generation, they're like, oh man, it's open world.
Okay, well, a Pokemon open world game would make sense.
Yeah.
Wouldn't it?
Well, Pokemon was always open world, really, because you could go back to old towns and like you could,
I'm talking about with like some good graphics though. Not
Nintendo graphics.
Not like 2D bullshit Nintendo graphics, which is great.
That's what
great
they do, man. Like,
yeah, but it doesn't have to be that way.
Like, I feel like that Pokemon game that you're talking about could exist on the Xbox One and PS4, and it could be really epic, but that's never going to happen.
Well, okay, look, I sent you a screenshot or like some test video for that Super Mario Bros. Thing that looked like kind of Borderlands or whatever.
Oh yeah,
wouldn't that be kind of cool as like an open world thing?
I'm not a huge Borderlands fan.
No, it was the artwork.
I know. I don't like that art style.
You didn't like? They looked nasty.
I played the first yeah. That I mean, it's cool.
It would be like a weird take on Mario. It would be like, it could even be a platformer. I'd be cool with it, but like, I'd like to see Mario swinging wrenches and shit.
Yeah. Well, what if it was like a platformer, like Oddworld, maybe, in terms of the graphics and the stylized thing, but with Mario.
Fine. But Oddworld is too fucking hard to play.
It's hard.
Like that. I mean, you seriously have to be have some serious OCD, or be a really solid gamer. I couldn't imagine myself playing Oddworld and like beating the game just for the sake of fun.
I mean, the new one we beat.
You have to hate your life.
Like 20% of it, maybe.
Not even.
Like 15%.
Yeah, and we were like, "Fuck this."
It's hard.
It's too it was that. If you've watched any of the Macro Play stuff when we played that, it was like we were raging. Mm-hmm. We were screaming. So
it was bad.
Yeah.
Well,
but I'm excited for that Nintendo Dev console. We'll see some cool stuff happen in the future, I'm sure. Virtual reality. Maybe there'll be virtual reality incorporated. I'd love to see Pokemon Stadium with VR.
Oh, that'd be cool. Pokemon Snap with VR, dude. And like with the VR that can see your hands. Mm-hmm. So like you use your hands like you're holding a camera, and then like you take the pictures, and it's like, oh, dude. Yes.
What is there? Okay, so isn't there a Pokemon game out right now where you can is it on your phone or something? You like walk around.
Pokemon Go.
What the fuck is that?
It's a mobile game.
It's a mobile game.
Yeah.
So you walk around and you meet people that are like that also have it, that are close to you, and you can battle them or something.
Yeah, shit like that. And I think you can capture I'm not sure how it works because I haven't tried it, but there's this whole thing around capturing Pokemon. I don't know how it works.
They're like based on in the real world?
I don't know. I think so.
There could be a Pokemon in my house right now.
There could.
It's probably like a Ghastly or some shit like that.
Well,
that's our show.
That is indeed the show.
Thanks
real
for
quick,
listening.
If you enjoyed the episode, please don't forget to go on iTunes and leave us a review. It'll be most appreciated and helps get the show into the ears of new listeners. Tweet us at Macro Records and use the hashtag #TheMacroCast so we know you're talking about the show. Follow us or subscribe to us on YouTube at youtube.com/MacroRecordsTV, where you can watch episodes of the Macrocast on video. Go to our Facebook page, facebook.com/TheMacroCast, and drop us a like. Any comments you leave via any of that stuff we'll read out on the show, guys. So, yeah, you got some stuff to plug?
Oh, hell yeah. I've always got stuff to plug. I'm Downlow'd. It's DOWNLOW''D. You can find more information about me at facebook.com/officialdownload. Listen to my music at soundcloud.com/download. I'm working on a bunch of new tunes, so I'll have some new stuff posted in the near future, hopefully. And tweet me if you want at Downlow'd here. Look me up on Instagram at Downlow'd. And most recently, I now have Periscope, so you can find me on Periscope. I post all kinds of stupid stuff, and just tune into that at Downlow'd. That's DOWNLOWD. If you're in El Paso, I'm starting up a new residency here in El Paso at Rubik's on Saturdays. I'm playing at 1914 doing Bump Swing this Thursday here in El Paso as well. And setting up some other cool stuff, so just stay posted and, we'll see what happens. And now, to play us out, we've got...
Daddy Lacrosse, Borutin.
Thank you.